Hello and welcome to Transcendent Kismet channel. My hair matches my gong. I'm loving my new hair. Anyway, so this is going to be the next 7 days pick a card. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of sound. Let's see where you feel this in your body. Clear the air. You know, ringing a bell is also good for cleansing your air and aura as well. So, welcome to the channel and let's begin. So, we're filming this around Christmas time, but this video is timeless. So, whenever you click on this video, the 7 days will begin from when it is clicked on. So, when you join in. So, I am Kismet and this is my channel, and we have all sorts of things that are on my channel, all sorts of pick a cards and daily reads and all sorts of topics. So I am an intuitive, I'm a starseed, and I channel messages. My messages are not meant to tickle your ears. I am going to channel what I feel intuitively is the message for whoever's meant to hear it. I believe very strongly in the law of attraction. So let's begin. So I have 4 piles here. I'm going to show you the animals so you can decide whether you want to make your choice based off of the number or based off of the items. So it's the holidays and it's Christmas, whether you believe in Christmas or Yule or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa. I do love the little Christmas whimsical stuff. So I thought it was pretty cool. So I'm going to start off with the reindeer. So we have a beautiful silver reindeer. That's pile number 1. We have a Christmas tree is pile number 2. It's a ceramic tree. Look at the presents there. Boom. Pile number 3 is this whimsical moose. It's supposed to be a reindeer, but he looks like a moose. So he just looks kind of like a mishmash of a reindeer mixed with Santa Claus. And then we have pile number 4, which is our little glittery penguin. He's super cute. It used to light up. I don't think it lights up now anymore. I have to change the batteries. I always buy these and with the intention of changing the batteries and never do, because there's so many of them that it's just like, really? Am I going to do it? All right. So those are the 4 piles. Okay. Now I'm going to be writing down so that afterwards, after I'm done filming, I can put the timestamps below so you don't have to listen to everything if you don't want to. You could just click on the timestamp to go directly to your pile and find your tribe. So those of you who picked pile 1, that's your tribe. Those of you who picked pile 2, that's your tribe. Pile 3, pile 4, etc. So make sure you let me know below in the comments which pile you chose. And again, this is for the next 7 days. So we're going to start with pile number 1. I'm just writing down the time. Okay. And that's for those of you who chose the silver reindeer. It's like a metallic silver, very elegant looking reindeer. All right. So those who chose this pile number 1, we have the Queen of Cups. We have rest and rejuvenation. We have from a new deck that I've gotten, I forgot to go over that. So we have a new deck that I got. The African Goddess Rising Guidebook. So this is a new deck. I'm really excited about it. Look at the artwork on it. Ashe, look how beautiful. And this is goddess Atite, worthiness. Atite, I believe that's pronounced. Look at her. She knows her worth. So this pile, this is, if you don't know your worth, the next 7 days you will be focusing on knowing your worth. You are worthy. Worthiness. Then we have the Hermit in reverse. Okay? So those who chose this pile, we have the Hermit in reverse, Queen of Cups, Rest and Rejuvenation, and Atite, which is worthiness. Now, since this is a new deck, I want to go ahead and write directly from the book for the goddess Atite. The number on here is the number 14. Okay, so that's a 5. Now, 5 is usually numerologically having to do with travel, with change, the planet Mercury, Gemini, communication, things that are Mercury related, and also rapid change, quick thinking, quick movement, things of that nature. So seeing that this is with worthiness, and I'm looking at this card here, and you know, I'm getting Empress vibes, but I don't want to always correlate oracle decks with the tarot because each deck is unique and different. So this deck especially having to do with African goddesses and African goddess rising, Ashe, I want to let it stand alone. So looking at the images here, we have, I see a lot of purples and pink. So a lot of the worthiness that this pile will be thinking about this week will have to do with your crown chakra, you know, which is the purple third eye chakra. So you may want to do some work on your third eye chakra. You know, we can always learn more about our worth because we live in a world that is unfortunately designed to tear us down. A lot of times we are constantly receiving images of how we are supposed to look, what beauty is, you know, to be defined for us. Telling us that, you know, if you don't make the right amount of money, if you don't live in the right address, you don't drive the right car, you don't work the right job, that you're not worthy. And so, you know, I don't fit society's standard of what traditional beauty is. I know my own beauty and my own worth for myself and define it for myself, but it took many years to get to that point. And there's still more work for me to do. And so therefore, this week, for those of us or whoever chose pile number 1, if you chose pile number 1, focus on your worthiness, knowing that you're worthy. And let's see what's in the book for Atite. Okay, so that is number 14. And it says here, now she falls under the temple warrior. So you want to tap into your warrior energy in the next 7 days. You know, warriors stand up for what they believe in. They have conviction. They are about something. They have a purpose. So that also has to do with worthiness, because when you know your worth and when something is worthy of a cause that's worth fighting for, you're the cause that's worth fighting for, a family member is the cause that's worth fighting for, a belief system. So that is also tied in with worthiness. And the book says here, great goddess Atite, queen of the gods, is a fierce protector of women and girls for the Oromo people of Ethiopia. Ashe. So the guidance from Atite for us. Let's pay attention. Stop hiding, shrinking, and playing small. Stand tall like the majestic sycamore tree. You are mighty. Life does not need to be perfect for you to embrace your own perfection. Embodiment for this oracle is that you matter and worthiness is in your veins. Accept yourself now completely, warts and all, okay? Your birth certificate says that we need your overflowing magic, joy, and vulnerability, and most importantly, we need you. You are deserving and worthy. The beautiful parts of you that everyone likes are worth loving. The parts that you or others dislike are worth loving too. Your creator loves you unconditionally. Goddess declaration for this card and for those who chose pile number 1 is I matter. So make sure you stand up and say, I matter. And moving along with the whole message for the pile 1 is rest and rejuvenation. So maybe you've been working yourself to exhaustion and not giving yourself the rest and rejuvenation that you deserve, that your body deserves. Maybe you don't understand how important it is to get rest and rejuvenation, that is an important part of self-care and an important part of understanding just how much you do matter and how your rest and rejuvenation matters. Okay? The Hermit in reverse. We know the Hermit energy is all about solitary time, to enlighten yourself, to go within and find inner enlightenment and inner wisdom. Okay, the Hermit is traditionally holding, just like this crow is holding this light, because this is about enlightenment, inner enlightenment within yourself. It's associated with the sign of Virgo. However, when it is in reverse, I personally associate it with the opposite sign of Pisces, because every sign has an opposite octave. And the opposite octave of Pisces is not just about inner enlightenment. It's deeper. It's about the deeper enlightenment, the deep wisdom of all matters of life, because Pisces represents every aspect of the zodiacs. It is the octave of all things. It is the deepest wisdom and the highest level of ascension, in the sense of it represents a very, very, very old soul. So the Hermit energy in reverse with rest and rejuvenation, I would say for this pile, definitely pay attention to your dreams in the next 7 days. I'm under a Pisces moon as I'm reading this, as I'm doing this 7-day reading. So the moon will be transitioning, obviously, for the next 7 days, but pay attention to your dreams. Make sure you're getting rest and rejuvenation. Make sure that you are understanding your worthiness. Tell yourself that you matter, because look, we have the Queen of Cups as well. So this means the next 7 days you will also be feeling emotional, but you will have emotional mastery, meaning that you will have your feels, but they will not have you. You are mature in your understanding of your emotions. You recognize them. You understand that they matter. You understand how important it is to acknowledge and experience your emotions without letting them overwhelm you and take over your life and just run amok. With the Queen of Cups, you also are someone who this next 7 days will be embodying that energy of compassion. Again, Pisces energy, compassion, kindness, having emotional understanding, being able to look through the facade of things and see the emotion behind it, the real reason why, let's say you get angry or frustrated. Maybe you understand that there's an emotional trigger there, because that's what maturity is understanding deeper than the emotion, understanding what the real root emotion is. And that's what the Queen of Cups energy is. It's mature energy. It also has to do with maybe a mature water sign. So we are definitely dealing with a lot of water energy over the next 7 days. But then we also have the fire energy, because Atite is a warrior goddess, and she is letting you know to make sure that you stand up for what you believe in and your convictions. Speak from your heart. Okay? Keep the watery emotional energy that you're supposed to have, and make sure you're getting the proper rest. Pay attention to your dreams. So those are the messages that I'm getting for pile number 1. And we're going to move along to pile number 2. Okay. That is those who chose this adorable Christmas tree with the presents. It's giving me very much like the Cat in the Hat, like Dr. Seuss, like a little Dr. Seuss tree. I just think it's cute. Anyway, I forgot even where I got this from. I might have got it from a thrift store, or maybe it was a gift. I don't know. I don't remember, but I just think it's so adorable. All right. So for those who chose pile number 2, the Dr. Seuss Christmas tree, I'll call it. So I mentioned, in case you are not watching the whole thing, I have a new deck, the African Goddess Rising. I forgot to put that in the intro, that I am using for this reading. I'm really excited. It's the African Goddess Rising Oracle deck that I love, by Abiola Abrams. So I will be reading from the book for these cards as I'm getting to know this deck, but this is just amazing. I love this deck. So I want to give it the honor that it deserves. A lot of times we always compare oracle decks with the tarot, but honestly, oracles are meant to be their own standalone story. Yes, there are correlations, but they are meant to be their own individual self. So I'm definitely going to honor these cards with their own standalone energy. So for those who chose pile number 2, we have the moon, we have the emperor in reverse. Okay. We have first chakra, Archangel Michael, and we have Oya. Okay, so for those who chose pile number 2, I'm laughing because I definitely see this story here. Okay, so the first thing I want to tell you is you may be going through a storm right now. Even though I just bought this deck, I know a lot about Oya because I have an affinity with Oya myself. And Oya is the storms. She is about lightning. You see the lightning. Look at the artwork on this. This is just gorgeous. Look at that. Oh, gorgeous, right? But also powerful. Very, very powerful. Oya is very, very, very powerful. Oya is no nonsense. She is the Orisha responsible for lightning. She is with magic. She is the guardian of cemeteries. She is responsible. She oversees the last breath. She is of the Yoruban tradition. And here we have the word storms. And I already see here with the first chakra, Archangel Michael, which is your first chakra, your roots chakra, having to do with security, money, shelter, food. You know, these are the things that make you feel secure in the world, the things that we really worry the most about: having enough money, poverty consciousness, feeling safe. You know, most of the fears that we on a day-to-day, most of us deal with, the majority of us deal with, have to do with your first chakra. So first chakra, which is the color red, it's, the card is upright. It's not, I didn't, but you know what, this deck, I didn't really have any reversals. So whether with storms, I'm gonna say that with Oya and storms coming up and then the emperor in reverse, yeah, you may not be feeling your powerful self because you're going through a storm right now. You're going through something that is a transition that is very disruptive. Okay, we're going to read from the book what the book says, because I'm still learning the book about for the Oya card. But like I said, because I know. And then we have the number 13. And we know that, you know, in Western tradition, 13 is considered an unlucky number, even though it's one of my favorite numbers. And in actually the Jewish tradition, the Israelite tradition, 13 represents the number of love, actually. So, you know, but it, again, with Oya popping up and the emperor in reverse and the first chakra probably being out of balance, pile number 2, you're going to be worried about money and security and shelter and having fears related to that. You're probably going through a storm right now. And the advice with the moon card is when the moon is shining, there's still light shining. It is not as bright as the sunlight. It's about trusting that what you see in the shadows, when you shine the light on it, it's not as scary as it seems. So it's kind of like when you're a kid and you're in your room and the lights are off and all of a sudden the coat that's hanging on the chair looks like a monster. And then when you flip the light on, you realize it's just a jacket hanging on a chair, right? So a lot of times the moon is associated with using your intuition and understanding that the shadow is not as scary as it seems, and that you can face things with courage, even though you may not see the whole picture, right? So let's go to the book. I want to see what Oya says. So number 13, what the book says for Oya. And again, Oya is a Yoruban goddess. So she's the goddess of storms. She's responsible for lightning. So it says here, she is of the warrior temple again. So a warrior again goes to war. So Oya is reminding you of your power. Even though you're in the storm, she rules the storm. So again, you may be in a storm right now, but understand that you have the power in you, Ashe, to rule the storm, to carry the lightning rod, to be the storm. Okay. And so balancing out your first chakra by understanding that your fears are shadows and they are really just a coat hanging off a chair. It's not a monster. And you can be empowered. No matter what this storm is, you can ride the storm. So here the book, it says, wielding her powerful sword of truth, Oya is the Yoruba goddess of storms, wind, and lightning. Storms bring shift, rapid and uncontrollable change, and at times chaos. The winds of change are in motion. Okay, her guidance is, into every life a little rain must fall. Personal storms clear away the old, and sometimes change moves slowly, at other times change is swift. All right. The embodiment for this guidance is, what would you like to change? If you are not actively changing it, you are choosing it. To make shift happen, focus on what you want. Stop giving energy to what is not working. The biggest thing holding you back right now is you. If you want people in life to treat you better, you go first. Treat yourself better first. If you attract betrayals, stress, and strife, the common denominator is you. Beating yourself up is self-harm. Feel your feelings, honor your journey, tell yourself the truth, and practice self-compassion, right? And treat yourself better first before others treat yourself better. Make sure you're treating you better, doing the things to honor yourself, talking to yourself with the same love that you would talk to a best friend or a child or a pet that is beloved. The declaration for the Oya card is, I make shift happen. I make shift happen. So in other words, yes, you may be going through the storm, but understand you can ride that storm by understanding your power in that storm and knowing that you can control the winds of change in your life. Okay? Because no matter what the storm is, you know what they say, the wisdom, the very, very famous wisdom from King Solomon is, this too shall pass. No matter what it is, this too shall pass. So yes, it may be a storm. Yes, you have allowed that storm in some way or other, not to blame you, because some things happen we have no control over. It's true. But what we do have control over is how we react to it and how we recognize our power while dealing with whatever it is. Okay. And knowing that it is temporary. That's the light of the moon. That when the light comes back on, you know, there's a famous Instagram, TikTok thing that's going around now. It says night cannot last always. At some point, the sun must rise, right? So, you know, it cannot always be night is what the vocal says. It cannot always be night. And it cannot always be night. So, you know, remind yourself that. Remind yourself, listen, this too shall pass. And for those who are mature and who've gone through some things, you have gone through things before and you're still here and you're still kicking it. And you know what? Have faith in whether you call it a higher power, God, the universe, the goddess, your ancestors, whatever source of faith that you have, call upon that. Call upon that faith. Walk by faith, not by sight. Because when you walk by faith, that's like wielding lightning. Because you just know, it's worked out before, it's going to work out again. And that within yourself, that thought process, that empowered thought process, is a form of your mind manifesting things. And also, like Oya's reminding you to wield your power and make sure that you honor yourself, so that you're not attracting dishonor. Okay, and that's in any form of energy, whether any form of energy that dare to step to you will understand that you are wielding your own power. And don't give in to the fear, because fear begats fear. Okay, you're going to get through this storm. Okay, it cannot be night always. The moon only shines temporarily before the sun comes out. So use your intuition to trust in what you know. Tap into your inner self. Align get your chakra aligned, so that it's not your first chakra, your root chakra. Make sure that that's aligned. Wear red. Okay, wear red over the next 7 days. At some point, wear red, or do a first chakra meditation. There are a bunch of them on YouTube. I'm not going to recommend any, because the one that you are meant to find, you will Google and find. Your guides and your ancestors will make sure that you find the root chakra meditation that's meant for you. So if you are interested, all you have to do is take the first step. Your guides and your angels will meet you along the way. Take the first step by Googling it and say, you know what, I'm going to put on my headphones and I'm going to align my first chakra. I'm going to get my mental straight, my mental state back in balance, because this controls all of your chakras, your mind. Okay, the mind is very important, and what your subconscious mind is feeding is what's going to throw things out of balance while you're going through this storm. So Ashe. So that's the advice for pile number 2. Okay, I'm loving this new deck, man. I was so happy I found this deck, and I couldn't believe that I found this deck of all places at Marshall's. I can't believe that. All right, so we're going to pile number 3. I'm just gonna write down the time. Hold on a second here. My pen is acting crazy. Pile number 3. So pile number 3. Hello to pile number 3. Those who chose this is a reindeer, but it looks like a reindeer Santa Claus mashup. He's very like cute and whimsical, almost like a gingerbread too. He's like a gingerbread Santa Claus reindeer mashup. He's so cute. I just thought it was adorable. So that's those who chose pile number 3. Okay. Now, if you didn't watch the whole video, I am using a new deck. I didn't talk about it in the intro. It is the African Goddess Rising deck. I'm very excited. I love this deck. I got this deck, believe it or not, at Marshall's. I was like, what? And I just love it so much. So I'm still learning the deck. So as I pull cards from this particular deck, I am going to read from the book. Although I may be familiar with some of the goddesses, and I may be able to pull information from it based on the artwork and the imagery. But let's go ahead and begin your reading. So those who chose pile number 3 with the reindeer moose with a gift. Okay, let's see what is the message for this one. Okay, we have the 3 of Cups upright. Okay, we have the 2 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, we have envy. Oh, there it is. We have envy. Okay, and we have 7 sisters, creativity. That's from the African Goddess Rising deck. 7 sisters, creativity. Okay, look at the artwork on that. So 7 sisters, I love it. All right, so I'm already seeing something here. Okay, so looking at the artwork here, the number is 12, which goes down to the number 3. And in numerology, the number 3 is the number of creativity. It's about creative expression. It is the number of the artist. The life path 3 is the number of the artist or the comedian or the orator, the storyteller. But what I notice about the 7 sisters, look and see, one of the sisters is bigger than the other sisters, and one of the sisters has like the light shining behind her. Now, I'm looking here at their faces. Some of them look happy, some are looking kind of sassy, and some of them looking very serious, not that happy. And you have the rainbow candles here. See how I think we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 candles. Okay. So, but the card is called creativity. And then we have the envy card. So I'm wondering if those who chose pile 3 in the next 7 days, you may be dealing with someone who is envious. Okay. And we have the 3 of cups upright. So the message that I'm getting is if you are, partying or hanging out with some friends, be careful because there may be someone who's a bit of a frenemy in the mix who is maybe a little envious of you. And it may not be necessarily bad because sometimes you can be envious, not in a bad way, but for the most part, it's still something to watch because it can go out of balance. And anyway, you shouldn't have anybody around you who's envious. Now, it's interesting because it's 7 sisters. So I'm interested to see what that card is. Now, the 2 of Pentacles in reverse has to do with the 2 of Pentacles upright is masterfully juggling your responsibilities. Okay. Usually you are able to handle your responsibilities with like the precision of a juggler, right? In reverse suggests to me that maybe things aren't going as smoothly. Maybe you aren't juggling as much. Maybe you aren't juggling all your various responsibilities or projects as smoothly as you would like to be because maybe, who knows, maybe you could be also careful of the evil eye because envy also does have to do with the evil eye. And make sure you're protecting yourself. And I don't like to throw fear. I don't like to throw that kind of negativity out in a sense, like, oh, protect yourself. Somebody's throwing an evil eye. Somebody's trying to curse. Listen, you're going to always, if you're doing anything in life, the minute you step out and don't be cowering down, the minute you have any ounce of confidence, someone is going to hate on you. Someone is going to have there's going to always be haters because a person who hates themselves cannot show love to people who love themselves. It's not possible. They don't understand it. And it's not your responsibility to try to make anybody, like you or understand you. It's your responsibility for you to like and understand yourself, number one. And the other thing is also, there's gonna, like I said, it's gonna, no matter what, there's gonna always be somebody who hates on you. You know what I mean? So it's not even about that. It's not about being fearful. Yeah, you should be protecting your energy. You should have boundaries. Not everyone should have access to your energy. Like that famous meme that's been going around for the past few years. Giving everyone access to your energy is just poor spiritual hygiene. Okay, that's like being a whore with your energy. Like you just letting anybody just come into your energy. Like you're not protecting yourself. Like you getting all kind of energetic diseases, basically, because not everyone should have access to your energy. Not everyone deserves to have access to your energy. That is a privilege. So it's like I was telling someone the other day, I wear a mask. And I acknowledge I wear a mask because my mask is intentional. Not everyone gets to see the vulnerable side of me. Not everyone has earned that place. When I was younger, that was different. I gave everyone access and I was so naive and so, yeah, but now, no, you have to earn that. And that's completely understandable. And I view other people the same way too. I don't just automatically assume that I have full access to people that I just meet or I just know. And that would be presumptuous and naive of me and unrealistic. Not everyone deserves to have access to you. Yes, you will always have people who are envious. Always. You wear your hair, you got some new hair and you're feeling confident, you're feeling beautiful. Someone's going to feel insecure about it. Like, who does she think she is? Don't worry about them people. Okay? Don't worry about them people. They are irrelevant. Worry about yourself and focus on those who are your supporters, those who do love you, who do have your back, and who do want what's best for you. Whether if it's one person or 5 people, it doesn't matter. If there's only one person that is happy that you have risen to the top, then focus on that person. And if there is no one, you be that person for yourself. Clap for yourself. Be happy for yourself. Be like, yeah, I did that. I'm proud of myself. I'm doing a great damn job. And I am proud of myself. Okay. So don't worry about that. But yes, protect yourself. Yes, I am a big advocate of doing your spiritual bath. Make sure you do your salt bath. Make sure you carry your black tourmaline. And, I carry black tourmaline, and I have my evil eye pendant, and I have my spell work, my return to sender spell work. Yes, everyone should have it, because I don't wish bad on nobody. The only thing I wish for people is whatever they wish for me. Ashe. So let's see what the book says for the Seven Sisters Creativity, because this is a new deck for me. The number is 12. So again, you're probably going to be in your creative element, those who chose pile number 3. Again, when you're creative, when you're in a creative mindset, it can be a little chaotic, because this is also kind of chaotic energy. Again, you hanging out with people, you're in a creative vibe. Maybe you're hanging out with other creatives, and you guys have that vibe, but just be careful of the envy. Now, on the flip side, I just made all that speech about somebody being envious of you. Make sure you're not the one being envious. Make sure you're not the one that is looking on like, why does she get to have that? Or what does she do to deserve that? That kind of an energy. Don't get into that, because what's meant for you is meant for you. Don't be worrying about what somebody else has, because that's for them. You don't know what they went through, and it's none of your business. You need to worry about you getting what's meant for you. If I'm at a restaurant and you may have gotten crab legs and I've gotten shrimp, and I may say, oh, I want crab legs, but I don't want the same crab legs that you have. I may want hot sauce on my crab legs. I may want something different, you know what I mean? And that those will be catered to me and to what I want. So it's not worth it to be envious, because what's meant for you is meant for you. It's not for you to worry about what somebody else got going on. So the Seven Sisters, creativity. Let's see what this card is all about from the African Goddess Rising deck. So it says here, Goddess of Creativity, New Orleans. The temple that they are from, is the Conjurer's Temple. So yes. Okay. So those who chose pile number 3, Magician energy. Okay. So you're from the Temple of Conjurers, meaning that you have power and resources in you. You understand your magic. You understand your inner magic, which is basically the empowerment of creativity, being a creative, knowing that you can create things. Okay. It says here, the Seven Sisters were a mystical New Orleans family of identical master psychics and conjure women who never aged. But were they? Were the Seven Sisters one shape-shifting woman, or 7? Time will never tell. So that's the reason why there's one above. Was it one woman or was it 7? Time will not tell. Now, the guidance from the Seven Sisters for those who chose number 3 is create, create, create. You come from conjurers and creators. Your blood remembers. So use your gifts to multiply your magic. You are a cosmic creatrix and creative force. You are a divine nation within one person. How creative do you allow yourself to be? Break out of your comfort zone and into your creative fertility. You have the power that creates planets. So yes, you are creative. No one else's opinion matters here. Let your inner child play to awaken your creativity. Creating is birthing, is manifesting. Your declaration for this card is, I am a creative visionary. Ashe. So that is your manifestation for those who chose pile number 3 for the next 7 days. Remind yourself that I am a creative visionary. However, like I said, because this card is coupled with envy, and what stood out for me, the message, again, just be careful as you are with other creatives spending time over the next 7 days, that just be careful of envy, whether it's coming from you or from someone else. Set boundaries. But again, stand in your own power. You don't need anybody else to validate your creativity, validate who you are, and don't give people unnecessary access to your energy, period. Okay. So that is the advice for pile number 3. Let's move along to pile number 4. Okay. Pile number 4, those who chose this adorable little penguin. He's all sparkly. He or she. I don't know what the pronouns are, but they're adorable. Okay, so this is a penguin. with a little hat on. All right, those who chose pile number 4. All right, so we're gonna begin here. Now, those who didn't watch, I didn't say in the intro, and if you didn't watch the whole video, I am using a new deck that I am so excited I got. It is the African Goddess Rising deck. Believe it or not, I found this deck at Marshall's, and it is just, I love it so much. It has all these wonderful African goddesses in it that I'm loving to learn about, and just, so I'm going to be referring to not only just the images and the intuitive reading of the card mixed with all the other cards, but I will be referring to the book for what the reading is. So now for you guys, for your group number 4, you have the Knight of Cups. Okay. You have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. You have the Angel of Strength. And you have Tanit, pleasure. The goddess of pleasure. Look at that. So let's check out the artwork on this. First of all, the number is 11, okay, which is a master number in numerology. All right, and then we also have the number 5 for the Angel of Strength. And we know strength is often associated with Leo. Maybe those who chose this pile have Leo placements or have a prominent Leo in their life some kind of way. And I see stars. I see star magic here. Maybe whoever chose this pile is very heavy into astrology. Okay. And we have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so the Knight of Cups. The next 7 days, you will be focused on obviously pleasure and the emotions associated with pleasure. So what I'm getting for this particular pile is you will make it your business, whether realistic or not, to focus on the joy aspect of things. So this reading is a timeless reading, but we are reading this in Christmas time. This pile is going to focus on joy so that they can invite more joy into their life. Okay. The Knight of Cups, be careful that you don't in the next 7 days rush into anything emotionally without grounding yourself. You see this horse, the crow is riding the horse, and just like this is based off the traditional tarot, and how the knight's usually rushing into things, not necessarily thinking things through. And because it's cups, it has to do with emotions. Make sure you're not rushing in to be someone's emotional backbone. Beware of codependency for this next 7 days. Those who chose pile number 4, beware not to be, try to be somebody's backbone. It's one thing to be supportive. It's one thing to, because you are a strong person, you have strength to offer, but you have to be careful because you don't want to be codependent. You don't want people to be dependent on you. You want them to, this is their journey, no matter what the journey is, even as painful as it may be. That's a part of their development and their growth and their enlightenment. So, continue to be the supportive person that you are, but at the same time, don't rush in without thinking through, what you're offering in terms of your emotional support, because you need to not pull your strength away while you're trying to be strong for someone else. Okay. You have to be practical because, with Pentacles in reverse, you don't want to be impractical. You want to, keep your pentacles solid, because Pentacles also has to do with health, not just money. It has to do with, just basic, the groundedness of things. You don't want to get so wrapped up in, maybe saying to your friend, providing strength and saying, let's go get drunk, let's go get high, that kind of thing. Let's just get completely lost in pleasure. and then you're ungrounded and just thrown off, during the next 7 days. You don't want to do that, because then you can flip your strength. You can drain your own strength. You want to stay strong and not give in to too much pleasure. Now, I'm reading this just looking at the overall picture of the cards collectively, but I want to go ahead and read this card and read the meaning of this card, Tanit, and who this goddess is, because this is a new goddess for me. I'm learning about the goddess Tanit. So Ashe, we're going to learn about her. But I love how she has all these stars. She's making me think that she's like of the stars. She's, the constellations goddess. So I want to learn about that, because again, a lot of times we read our oracle cards and we try to correlate them with the tarot, but the tarot is a tarot. You know what I mean? And oracle cards have their own story and they have their own energy. They're meant to be kind of their own entity, to be read and have its own energy. And these cards in particular, I want to make sure that I am doing that. So I'm also getting Beyonce vibes from this. So, I'm getting some Oshun vibes almost, but this is not Oshun. This is Tanit. It's not Oshun. So let's go into it. And I love the dark purples. Now, dark purples also have to do with your crown chakra. Okay, your crown chakra, your third eye. So you want to definitely be tuning into your intuition. That's where your strength will be for the next 7 days. Okay, don't just lean into your emotions. Make sure you're tuning into your third eye chakra. That's another message I'm getting for pile number 4. So let's see. Tanit, the goddess Tanit. Let's see what the book says here for the goddess Tanit. So it says here, she is a goddess of pleasure from Tunisia. Okay. She is from the temple of conjurers. Okay, so again, conjurers. You see the temple of conjurers, meaning that she makes magic. Okay. It says here, Tanit was the goddess of the stars in ancient Carthage. Today, all the way over in Ibiza, they still have pleasure-filled, full moon, midnight table dancing parties in her name. Okay, Ashe. So, she is from Tunisia, and over in Ibiza, they do some partying here. They do some partying, and like I said, be careful about partying too much, with your emotions over the next 7 days. It says here, the guidance is, maybe you haven't been having enough pleasure. You're thirsty for more pleasure. You can't thrive when life feels dry. You are made of laughter and stardust, not sawdust. Pleasure is your birthright, a gift from the universe. So the embodiment for this, for you, for pile 4, it says here, how much juicy pleasure can you stand? Turn up the pleasure principle. You secretly feel that you don't deserve it, but pleasure is a healing and manifesting force. Laughing, loving, and orgasmic joy is holy. Hold your hands over your reproductive area and say aloud, I deserve pleasure. Your declaration, pile 4, it feels good to feel good. So over the next 7 days, remind yourself that it feels good to feel good. Okay, so yes, give into pleasure if you haven't been giving into pleasure. Okay, find your strength in that. All right. But at the same time, don't get completely ungrounded, because this card is in reverse. Your pentacles in reverse. So don't overdo it. All right. And be careful if you are trying to be someone's strength over the next 7 days, that you don't give into codependency, and that you don't overdo it with the pleasure. Okay. But definitely give into pleasure. All work and no play makes all of us very dull, and life is not meant to be dull. Hello, I have new fuchsia hair. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be, it's meant for us to enjoy the wonderful pleasures of life, whether it's orgasmic pleasure, romantically, responsibly, whether it is drinking or dancing. If you want to have some wine, if you've been depriving yourself of pleasure lately, stop it. Over the next 7 days, you will be giving in to your need for pleasure, okay? Within a balanced way. Just don't go overboard, because this is Seven in Pentacles in reverse, and we don't want pentacles and reversals, okay? We need the pentacles to be straight up, okay? So, all right, so that's it for advice for the next 7 days. Again, this is a timeless read. I hope you enjoyed the read. I hope you like my channel. Make sure you check out some other videos. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Don't forget, if you are liking the content, and tune in for more videos. When you hit the bell notification, you'll get notified once I upload some more videos. And I'm looking forward to wonderful, wonderful new content. I have some great decks that I want to start learning. Some of them are new, so I'm still reading from the book, so we're both learning them together. And then of course we have the traditional tarot. The way that I read the tarot is I read it based on my knowledge of the story of the tarot, and also intuitive hits. I am claircognizant, which means I just get information cognitively. And the way that I read, as you see, is I'm more of a guidance reader as opposed to predicting specific things, like, oh, you're going to get a package, or, oh, someone's going to offer you, things like that. Because, at the end of the day, that's just me personally. I think that what we all need is counsel and advice. I think all of those things factor in together. I listen to readers, other readers who have a different gift than mine. They may perceive something from spirit that I know, and then they may perceive something that I didn't think of. And some of it may be more detailed. They may say, oh, you're going to be getting money from a stranger or something like that. And I mean, that's great and good, but at the same time, what I have to follow my role from spirit as a channel for spirit. I'm also a medium, so I'm only relaying information that is meant for the collective, that is meant for my videos. I'm a big advocate and believer in the law of attraction, and whoever is attracted to my video is meant to be here. So thank you so much. I hope you join the family and stick around for more videos. So I am also a Reiki practitioner, healer, and I can, if you're interested in any healing, hit me up on Instagram at Allison's Cookie is my Instagram handle. I also have wonderful cookies that I bake, cookies and self-care items. You can check them out on my website, www.hopeandcookies.com. So make sure you check those things out. Thank you again for joining, and enjoy the rest of your night. Wishing you peace, love, light, and transcendence. Ashe.